Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Today's new drug is a new coach, sort of. We're going to say hello to Bobby Kennan today. He is the interim basketball coach at UNF, a longtime assistant under Matthew Driscoll. Actually coached at both JU and UNF as an assistant over the years. Good guy, and I'm glad to see Bobby get a chance. But we haven't had a chance to say hello to Bobby. We certainly did a lot with Matthew Driscoll when he was the coach here many times on this show and other shows. And but we haven't had a chance to say hello to Bobby on the air yet, so we're looking forward to doing that. So Bobby will join us about 15 minutes. UNF basketball in the changing world of college basketball. We certainly have our friend Jordan Mincy on a regular basis as well. But today, UNF coach Bobby Kennan will join us. So we'll do that today on the program as well. All kind of fun stuff. We're going to get to some fun stuff today. I am going to touch again. I meant to get back to this. Todd Golden had a really interesting comment about how the world has changed again in college athletics based on the NIL Go and what's happening. Did you see his latest comment?
Yes.
That the world's going to guys are going to starting next year going to get 20% of what they're accustomed to. Wonder how that's going to go.
Well, they're not going to get 20% less. They're just going to go to the Big East, and then they'll get the full.
Then they'll
amount.
get the full money. So
Yeah.
we'll certainly do that. So we'll certainly talk about that today on the program. I got a Walter Clayton comment I want to get to that comes up on the program today. There's a brand new commissioner of the PGA Tour, sort of. There's a CEO now hired away from the NFL that will now ultimately be the commissioner. Jay Monahan his contract goes through the end of next year, so he will be here for another year and a half or so, and then a brand new voice for there haven't been a lot of voices for that tour. If you think about it, I mean, Beeman, Fincham, Monahan, right? Those three. Am I missing someone?
Really, that's how it is across the sports landscape.
You're right.
I mean, you think of the NFL, the NBA. I mean, it's really two guys takes you back about 30 years. So yeah, I mean, it's obviously a position that requires great stability. When you do make a hire, you want it to be somebody that can be in the position for a couple decades, ideally, and this hire suits that. So yeah, it certainly they've had great stability there, and I would imagine they will continue to do so.
All right, the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder are one win away from a championship. JJ, I'm going to help you here because I know that trip to Bono's very well. If you need directions, I can provide them.
Yeah, it's over.
Maybe
it's been
not
over for a while.
Maybe not your best night last night. Okay, so let me put this in perspective for you, and then if you lost as much as I can't have, you can put this in perspective. If it ends on Thursday night, let's say it ends tomorrow, Oklahoma City wins. If Hayes and my 6 players didn't play, and your guys all score 30 points, you still lose. Is that perspective for you?
That is perspective. And still,
did you realize that?
Yeah,
the number I just
it's a tough. Yeah, it's tough now for JJ. I mean, he definitely needs 2 more games, and he needs something.
JJ, you might need
remarkable.
7 or 8 more games. I think.
Yeah, I mean, particularly with Halliburton now looking with the strained calf.
The Pacers need more games.
Yeah,
they're done.
That he's iffy. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. The injury. Obviously now you have to think the Thunder are going to roll in. Because even if Halliburton plays, he's clearly not himself.
Yeah, they looked way better without him.
Yeah.
When McConnell came in was when they came back and almost tied the game. They got it down to 2 with 8 minutes or something like that. He was just
McConnell looked like Iverson.
He really
was like he was just scoring at will.
TJ McConnell, I didn't realize he'd become the best player in the league.
It was unbelievable.
He looked 12 times faster than everyone else. It was crazy.
It really was. But yeah, for it. Yeah,
I don't expect him to be able to start the game like that next.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't think so either. So yeah, I would think Game 6 in Indianapolis is going to be a bludgeoning. Yeah, and the Thunder will win in 6, and and JJ will be heading to Bono's.
As for the loser Monday, apart from JJ apart from the fact that JJ is gonna lose, you might have hung the biggest night of all time in NBA Finals loser Monday history.
It was a good night.
The rich inherited history of loser Monday.
Yes.
And probably just with 2 players.
He went for 70.
Nembhard did even do it.
Nembhard only got me 7.
Yeah. Hayes went for 75 last night.
Jalen was just unbelievable, man. Every shot they needed from him, too. And
he's like a son to me.
He said he was headed there.
When they were down 2, he
I'm
was
ready
the
to
one.
declare. that Jalen Williams is like a son.
He was the one who, they're down 2 or up only 2 late in the fourth quarter. They get the offensive rebound, and of course, he just drills it, and it was like the game over after that point. But every single time they needed a basket, Jalen was just amazing.
Went for 40 points in an NBA Finals.
He's incredible.
Yeah, he is.
40 points in an NBA Finals game. So
I saw this stat, and I apologize to the NBA reporter that had it because I don't remember who tweeted it. But Jalen Williams, as you guys mentioned, scored 40 points last night. Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, the Mailman, Kawhi Leonard, and Dirk Nowitzki never scored 40 points in the NBA Finals.
Isn't that amazing?
And
that's a great stat.
It's unbelievable. But yeah, Jalen. It's funny because during the broadcast they showed Jalen Williams like photos of him as a kid. I don't know if you guys were watching when they did that. They showed like a bunch of old photos of Jalen Williams, and I was like, well, it's fitting that they're showing him like as a top Jalen Williams like photos of him as a kid. Jalen Williams like photos of him as a kid. I don't know if you guys were watching when they did that. They showed like a bunch of old photos of Jalen Williams. And I was like, well, it's fitting that they're showing.
So you probably need a couple pretty good games, I would say. So there you go. So finally somebody.
Chet Holmgren with 79 points.
It's got to be a finals record. 80 points in the first half for Chet Holmgren.
So anyway, the kind of like DeChambeau kind of took the mystery out of Loser Monday on Friday.
Yeah.
That might have taken the mystery out of Loser Monday last night. But
Chet was great on defense. Like, they're just so awesome, man. They're a great team, and they're built for the future like we've been talking about. They're all pretty young. You're not going to have to pay any of these guys this offseason, so I fully expect them to maybe not be back in the NBA Finals. I'm not penciling them in, but the Final Four next year for sure.
Well, I will say this, and we said this earlier in the playoffs, or certainly earlier in the finals. It seems like every year we have a team that came out of nowhere, and we wonder, are they going to stay? We said it about the Nuggets. We said it about the Bucks. We said it about the Phoenix Suns, and they didn't win. So now we'll see, right? Well, this I agree with JJ. This team looks like it's got staying power.
But it never works out the way we think.
It never does.
So if they were going to trade for a superstar to add to this, JJ, what would they be looking for, and who would fit?
Giannis.
Can you imagine that?
I couldn't imagine him on that team.
That's the one thing they don't have, the great physical interior player. I mean, Holmgren's a really good
I'd
7-footer.
give Milwaukee whatever they wanted. I mean, whatever they want to get him.
It'd be like it might be Jalen Williams, which if that's the case, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
He's your guy.
I'm not trading family. Come on.
But they have so many picks collected over the years.
That's what I mean. Like how many picks and whatever.
But the question becomes, do they need to add?
Right,
I mean, they are by far and away. They're probably going to win Thursday. They're back home. They are by far
they're on the road.
But I don't think it's going to matter.
But they're probably going to win in Indiana. My bad. They're probably going to win in Indiana on Thursday. If that happens, they will have been far and away the best team in the regular year, and by far and away the best team in the playoffs. So, and look, everybody always adds no matter what. But I will say this: the Celtics didn't. The Celtics when they went with Tatum and Jaylen Brown and then Horford and Derek White and that group, Drew Holiday got there before they won the title. But, right, JJ, they didn't add.
Well, they added Drew Holiday and Derek White and Porzingis to win. Like they were already at the point of, one of the best, if not the best team in the East year after year. But, they didn't need those not superstars, though. They didn't add any superstars, to your point. They didn't bring a Giannis in. They were just guys off the bench who fit in great with what they had going on and shoot a bunch of threes. But, yeah, I think if they would have lost that Game 7, I'm talking about OKC now, to Denver last series, then the talk about bringing in a superstar would have really gotten loud. But now that they're going to win the title, just run it back.
Yeah. Well, and so, but I will say, and again, I don't watch close enough to know, if Jalen Williams is this guy, if that's who he is, because we're pretty convinced SGA that's who he is. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's much doubt about
Holmgren will get better.
And Holmgren, because Holmgren's a 7-footer that runs the floor like a guard.
He's like 20.
And he's still coming off, the injuries and stuff like that. I mean, he obviously, what's hilarious about Holmgren is anytime there's even remote contact,
he's on the ground.
He gets just ragdolled. I mean, limbs just flying. Like, it's hilarious.
The Siakam play last night
was so hilarious. But yeah.
Even Doris was like, this poor guy. every time he's on the ground, I look up, he's on the ground.
But I mean, he's certainly, you can see the talent, and he's such a young player. They all are. I mean, they're the youngest group of superstars that a champion's had in a long time. But so yeah, it's interesting. But in the NBA, it always, if you've got the draft picks, and they do, and you've got the cap space, boy, I would try and trade a couple of role guys and a bunch of picks and add to that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll certainly see. One more game to win it this year, and then we'll see what happens as they move along. All right, let's keep it on basketball. Take a break. Bobby Kennan is a good guy. Bobby's been around here a long time, a one-time assistant at JU, long-time assistant at UNF under Matthew Driscoll. He's now the interim basketball coach at UNF, at least for the next year and hopefully beyond. When we come back, Bobby joined us on the program. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
I want to tell you something. Something I've never told anyone.
It's all right.
This is 1010XL.
I'm totally cool with it.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beard's Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
Lauren Brooks here. It's the Cruise in the Summer event at Hodges Mazda at the Avenues. For a limited time, get up to $5,000 off a new 2024 Mazda CX-50 Preferred and receive a free 5-day cruise for 2 with your purchase. With off-road capability and the special offer, your summer adventure starts now. Hurry, 2024 Mazda CX-50 Preferred models are in limited supply at Hodges Mazda. Offer valid on new 2024 Mazda CX-50 Preferred only. MSRP $32,564. Must trade in a vehicle and finance through dealer to qualify for discount. Cruise and vehicle availability limited. Travel taxes and fees additional. See dealer for details.
If you're 35 to 75, you could get life insurance today. No medical exam needed. I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial. One call could protect your family for life. Call me today, 904-885-9566.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com, COYLE, jacks.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesofJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page, the showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
It's June, so the finals are here and the temperature's rising. When the heat is on, will your AC step up or choke in crunch time? Don't sweat it. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling brings championship level comfort. Cool when it's hot, no missed shots, no overtimes, you're back up and running. So before summer runs up the score, call Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. CoolCatsJacks.com.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
The coolers are full at your local gate gas station, making it easy for you to cruise in and cruise out with little downtime. Ice cold Coronas, Natty Light, Stella Artois, and Michelob Ultra. Don't forget the king of beers, Cold Buds. Gates got them in the cooler, waiting for you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
And we welcome you back to the program. Frank, Frangie, Hayes, Carline with you. And what a pleasure to welcome in our pal Bobby Kennan, the interim coach, the brand new coach at UNF who steps in now for longtime coach Matthew Driscoll. Bobby, it's great having you on the show. How are you, man?
I'm great, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Hey, tell me a little bit about what this journey has been like. And Bobby, we've known each other a long time, so I know your journey for sure. I tell people Bobby used to jog by the building here for the longest time, so you know us. But this journey of watching Matthew, the emotional departure, he's such a good man, and I know you feel that way. And the next thing you know, you're the head coach at UNF as the summer begins. What's this journey been like for you?
It's been surreal. You know, being with Coach for 16 years, like I share with him as he left, like we've done life together. You know, we've done life together as a staff. I mean, we've suffered together, we've celebrated together, we've kind of been through it all. And while we've been on this journey together, we've been able to build this program together as well. And now to have the opportunity to lead it, I couldn't be more excited or more grateful.
Yeah, Bobby, congratulations. It's fantastic, and certainly excited to see the product you produce. And speaking of that, will the identity change at all on the court, or what we got used to seeing with you and Coach Driscoll, Birds of Trey, will that still be the predominant way of building the team?
Well, our roster is built that way right now. You know, we're always going to recruit, you know, high IQ, high character, you know, skilled athletic kids, and that's how we built it. You know, kind of if they can't shoot, they don't fit the system, so to speak. So that's how we're built right now. You know, I'm going to put my own touches on it, my own tweaks on it, and we're going to play. You know, we're going to have some differences, obviously, in how we play. My personality is going to be a little bit different. Our style is going to be a little bit different, but you know, we're built the same. We're built to be successful offensively, and we're going to continue to grow on the other end of the floor as well.
I've asked Matthew this many times in the recent years, Jordan Mincy as well, other mid-major coaches. Boy, the challenge, Bobby, the challenge now that If somebody's really good, they're gone. That's just a mid-major way. That's nobody's fault. But that's the battle you have to fight right now. How do you mitigate that? How do you deal with the portal while still trying to recruit? And again, you got a little bit of a late start on all that. But how do you manage the current landscape of college basketball?
Well, I think first and foremost, the most important thing for me is we had 14 guys signed in our program, and we were able to retain all 14. When there's a coaching change, they can go into the portal immediately. So I think that speaks to, to us and our culture for everybody kind of wanting to do this thing together. And I think everyone wants to build a program. And the challenge has always been the difference between fielding a team and building a program. Right now, for us at this level, it's an 8-month process. We have our team right now, and we've got to, accelerate the velocity of our growth and come together as quickly as we can. And it's going to be our team for 8 months. And then we'll reevaluate, at the end of the season when it's March and April, and we'll go from there.
In terms of leadership, who are some players that have already kind of stepped up as workouts get going and conditioning and things like that?
But Nestor Diachuk's one of our oldest guys. He didn't play a lot here for us last year, but he's done a great job. It's kind of been leadership by committee. We get going in full, on Monday. So we've had, portions of our team here the last 2 weeks, and I think, I think everyone has kind of been collectively, doing this and doing it together.
How much does it help you that you know the lay of the land here so well? I mean, all those years with Matthew, JU before that, hell, Campbell, who plays around here, at least enough games around here. I mean, you know this city, bro. I mean, you know the city, you know the way it breathes. That's got to help you from a comfort level, right?
Oh, it certainly does. I think anytime there's a change in job, I mean, you just have to, there's so much in the infrastructure, the institution. My institutional learning curve is very short because obviously I've been here. The community, I've lived here 21 of the last 25 years. I've been in the conference for 25 years in a row. I understand what it takes to win. I've seen it done different ways. I've seen it done at different places. I've been part of it in different places and doing it different ways. And I just think this is a perfect fit for me, and it's the perfect time for me.
Where are offenses going in the college realm? Because it seems like it's getting way more sophisticated. We obviously saw what Todd Golden was able to do in Gainesville. But how have college offenses evolved in the last 2 or 3 years, in your opinion?
I think it's become a game of space and pace. Teams are playing faster. Teams are spreading the floor. You're trying to search for a mismatch, but I think that's really where it's going. Everyone's embraced the three-point shot. Obviously analytics are, layups and dunks and wide open threes and getting to the foul line. And I think when you're able to play in space and you're able to play with pace, then you're going to be able to create fouls. You're going to be able to create mismatches, and you're going to be able to create three-point opportunities.
Who are your mentors? Obviously, you were with Hugh for 5 years at JU. You were with Matthew for all those years. You grew up a basketball guy. Where'd it come from? Who are your mentors? Who directed you to this basketball world of yours?
I'll tell you what, I like to give the city of Ocala a lot of credit for that. I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, and I spent my entire life there. And I think the people that made a difference in my life were teachers and coaches, even the legendary Jim Haley there at Vanguard High School in Ocala. I didn't have the opportunity to play for him, but he's the one who got me to college. I'm a first-generation college graduate, and basketball gave me that opportunity. As I passed through life, I mean, I had great high school coaches, Steve Everly, Glenn McKendry. I started my coaching career at San Luis High School in West Palm Beach, and Willie Gibson's a Palm Beach County Hall of Famer. I mean, it's funny. I had a lot of credibility when I came to UNF because he and Dusty Rhodes came up together. So that automatically kind of got me with Dusty when I got here. I've worked for, Gene Smithson at Central Florida Community College, Randy Smithson, Robbie Lang at Campbell. I've been fortunate along the way to just work with some amazing people.
In terms of looking at defensively, Bobby, what are some things that you can implement to get that unit, playing at a little bit higher of a level than what we saw last season in terms of field goal percentage, things like that?
Well, I think this year we're going to mix our defenses a little bit. We redshirted a 7-footer last year, Arden Goss from Canada. And I think when we have the ability to play a zone, we've got to be able to protect the rim. I think he's going to give us some of that. You know, we were really good at that in the past with guys like Wajid Aminu, you know, protecting that rim, Chris Davenport, Romello Banks, Bebe Daniels. So we have, you know, Arden's the kind of guy there with some length and athleticism that's going to bother things. And then, you know, when he's not, I just think being a little bit more aggressive, maybe, you know, doubling the post a little bit, putting a little bit more ball pressure, just having some things where we can throw a change up in there.
Bobby, the good thing is you got a very easy non-conference schedule. The only, I mean, nothing could be easier than playing at Florida, at Tennessee, at Gonzaga. Bobby,
wow.
Did you have a say in that? Did you pull Nick aside? I mean, what are we doing here?
Well, it's funny. I've been involved in scheduling here for so long. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe that my first game is going to be at University of Florida when they drop that banner. You know, but I actually went to grad school there, and you know, I was the head coach at Williston High School, 17 miles down the road. And one of the things that I did, you know, my first year there was Coach Kruger's last year, and then the other 3 years were Coach Donovan's first 3. So I would drive up to class, I would watch those guys practice. You know, I would do all those things. And actually the very first game I ever went to, thank goodness to Mike McGinnis in Ocala, he's a Gator alum, but I actually performed at halftime of a game when I was in 5th grade. They were playing Auburn on a Saturday. And that was the first college game I ever went to, and that was going to be my first game as a head coach.
How about that? Very cool.
That is really cool. Bobby, in terms of the ASUN, anything stand out to you in terms of the portal, either, you know, guys leaving the conference or guys coming in, teams that you think did particularly well?
It's so hard to tell right now, you know, in terms of what rosters are. I think anytime you take transfers at our level in particular, on paper, there's much more going out than there is coming in. I think, you know, we get a better gauge as you go through November, December, and get into the league. I mean, there are teams, you know, Queens did a really good job of keeping their older guys. You know, a couple of those teams did, but there's been a lot of turnover here in the league this year.
Final thing, you're an interim coach, but you're connected. You know your players. You know where all the bodies are buried on that campus. You've got a real opportunity here. Do you see this as, hey, I'm just going to coach this team? Is it hard not to get caught up in hey, if it goes well, I get to do this for a long time? Where's your head there with regard to that, Bobby?
Yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm going to embrace it every day. And you know, this is my job. You know, and I'm not planning on being a substitute teacher. You know, this is my job. I'm going to earn the job, and you earn the job every day. I mean, I've coached 32 years. I've never had more than a 1-year contract, and it's the same approach right now.
Bobby Kennan, the UNF basketball coach, excited to get going, and he's waited his turn, and he's earned this. Bobby, you're a good dude. Congratulations on it, man. Can't wait to watch you guys.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you having me on.
All right. Bobby Kennan, the officially interim basketball coach, but like he said, he's the basketball coach now. He's a basketball coach at UNF. He's a good guy. I knew Bobby when he was at JU, and he's been around this area for a long time and waited his turn and so respected on that UNF campus. And he gets to play at Florida, at Tennessee, and at Gonzaga out of the gate. That's the world we're in now.
Yeah, I mean, look, it'll obviously it helps the athletic department financially, and it gets your guys battle tested. Obviously, those are probably going to be 3 tough nights, but you hope that it pays dividends once you get into ASUN play.
He did say something fun. Number one, it's cool that he went to grad school, Florida. He coached in Williston in the area. First game he ever saw as a kid, growing up in Ocala like JJ did, growing up in Ocala, first game he ever saw as a kid was a Florida game, and now his first game as the head coach will be against Florida. That's cool, but you're also there when they roll down the banner. I didn't think about it. I mean, that's the lid lifter. Welcome to Gainesville when they drop the banner for a team that, by the way, might be more talented, maybe not as good, maybe more talented than the team that just won the title. I'm not saying it's good, right?
I think they might be as good.
Yeah,
potentially.
Certainly that kind of talent. But I tell you what, Bobby, congratulations, Bobby. He's the UNF basketball coach. He gave you an interesting answer. You had a great question. Is it still the Birds of Trey? Because that has been the identity of UNF basketball, and I think his answer was right. He said, "Listen, that's what our roster. That's the roster we recruited to. That's how we're going to play. Dunks, layups, and open threes. That's how we've built this, but I'm going to put my spin on it too." And I think that's the right answer.
And hopefully if he, gets the long-term deal that we both believe that he should, then, hopefully and again, he may be in lockstep with how Matthew Driscoll built it. But, you do look at last year, and you would like to find more of a balance between being elite shooting the three, but also being able to get stops on the other end.
That's right.
And so that's where, but yeah, if you're on a 1-year deal, I mean, you can't reinvent the wheel. I mean, you've got to stick and keep as much familiarity as you can. So hopefully once he earns, the longer, term deal and he's got a little bit more stability, then if you want to, start to tweak identity, things like that, then you can start recruiting to that plan.
Yeah. And I'll say this, I don't care how long an assistant has been with a head coach. Bobby's been with Matthew 16 years. I don't care how long it's been. I don't care if you've been someone in football, you've been the offensive coordinator under an offensive-minded coach for 15 years. When you get it, it's going to change some because you're not going to agree with everything the guy before you did, or if so, you wouldn't have your own identity. So any coach that takes over, it could be a business. It could be a regular, you could be an insurance company, and you could be the number 2 guy to a really successful CEO for 20 years. But when you become the CEO, you're going to do some things differently. And that's just the way the world is. So it'll be interesting to see the way they play. Good to have Bobby Cannon on, the UNF basketball coach. Let's keep it on basketball. I got a thought or two about the NBA draft. I got a thought or two about Walter Clayton Jr. A lot coming up on the program. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
You know Dan Hicken.
Your reputation precedes you. You are like a legit legend around here.
And you know Jeff Prosser.
There's no need to be competitive.
They are The Drill.
Or there's nothing more to gain than what you already have.
Mornings on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
Jacksonville, Florida. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, the summer has arrived. Memorial Day is in the rearview mirror. It's vacation season for me. And over the next couple of weeks, whether it's a cruise, going out to Las Vegas, I'm going to bust out the tank tops, man. I'm going to show off the bod a little bit. Now, would I have done that 100 pounds ago? Of course not. But thanks to the great folks at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, I really have a new lease on life. It's life-changing. I'm in the maintenance program now, doing really well, right? The weight is not coming back on. That's almost as rewarding, if not a little more rewarding. It's one thing to lose the weight. It's something else to keep it off. I've been able to do that with the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If it's time in your life to make that change like it was for me, go to Awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, Hickett here from my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell floors are backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Cooking with Crisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a Rollies.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open-air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
I'm Drew Scrimshire, president and publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal. In business, timing is everything. That's why every morning at 8:15, our morning edition delivers the most important business news straight to the inboxes of Jacksonville's decision makers, executives, entrepreneurs, investors, and industry leaders. Want to know what the First Coast power players are reading before they start their day? Join them. Subscribe today to the Jacksonville Business Journal Morning Edition at bizjournals.com/Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Doing a thing, our friends, in the Nimnick family of dealerships. That means Nimnick Chevrolet on Castet Avenue. It means Nimnick Buick GMC is located on Phillips Highway. You want a great car, man. You want one from Nimnick. I've been buying my cars there since 1982. First time I ever bought a car by myself. I had no idea what I was doing, but I learned from Billy Nimnick Jr. God rest his soul. His son, Billy III, is a buddy of mine who now runs the joint. He and his brother, Lee, and they do a fantastic job. 2 great locations, great American-made cars. I'm proud that I've been the spokesperson for Nimnick for the longest time, and I will as long as they'll have me, and I'll keep buying my trucks there too, by the way. They do a fantastic job. You want a name in Jacksonville from which to buy your cars, that name to know is Nimnick. Frangie, Carline, La Selva, good to have Bobby Cannon on with us. You guys were doing a little Ocala bonding on the phone, weren't you there, JJ?
Yeah, just 2 old good old boys from Ocala. And he went to Forest High School. Yeah. I'm already a UNF basketball fan. I went to UNF, but now I'm more than all in.
Absolutely.
Season tickets will be coming in the mail.
That's Ocala Forest by way UNF by way of Ocala Forest is what that is.
Yeah, I hope he does great, man.
I do too. He's a good guy, and I'm rooting for him too. Speaking of basketball, so Walter Clayton Jr. was not ticketed. I shouldn't say that. But he's certainly, the highest mocks he showed up in was 16 to the Magic before they traded away the pick. He's more in the 20s. Most of the mocks you watch, he's in the 20s somewhere. But he did show up at 16. Well, now the Magic don't have that pick. Now that means somebody can still pick him there, but people have connected him to the Magic for 2 reasons. A, he's from Florida, and he's from Central Florida actually originally, and they don't have a lot of shooters. He could shoot it. So maybe that happens. Maybe that doesn't happen now. But despite being a second-round pick, we're watching these guys every day in the NBA that you didn't know very well until they got there. We just talked about T.J. McConnell. We talked about Halliburton. Jalen Williams. Caruso from A&M. We could go on and on and on. They become very good NBA players, not just the guys that were lottery picks. Man, I think he's going to be – I got more to say just to know, but I think he's going to be good. I think Walter Clayton Jr. in today's NBA, when the three-point game is so critical, when shots go up so quickly – when really getting the ball, I know he's a little guy, and he's very small by NBA standards, and he's not a playmaker. So even though he's probably a small 2, but man, I think he's going to be a good player. Am I way off the mark to think that?
No, I mean I think Walter Clayton Jr. I mean, again, yeah, he's not 6'6", but he's explosive. I mean, we have seen him make some plays offensively and defensively where he shows off that explosiveness. We've seen the dunks. You know, everybody thinks of him as a three-point specialist, but he's exceptional driving the ball to the basket. He's a great finisher. Defensively, ask Houston if he can get up to contest a shot in a big moment.
Great point. Great point.
I think he's got a well-rounded game. I also think from a demeanor standpoint, he was a star at his university, but didn't play like it. Was a facilitator, probably at times maybe a even more on the too unselfish than selfish, but he certainly was. If Walter Clayton had 9 points with 4 minutes left in a game, he wasn't pouting. I mean, he understood the flow of a game and that he had, gifted teammates around him, and it might be their night. So he never fought for shots or anything like that. But when his team really needed him, he rescued him on multiple fronts, multiple occasions. So, I mean, again, I'm a novice when it comes to NBA draft and what these guys should be looking for. But it's hard for me to believe that Walter Clayton Jr. doesn't have the temperament and the skill and the explosiveness to really help a team with a mid to late first round selection.
So let's assume he becomes a good pro. We made this comment a lot during his college career. I still say best player in Florida history. Best college player. Again, only 10 players in the 100-plus year history of the school, only 10 players have ever been regular starters on a national championship team. The first 2 teams had the same 5 starters, and this team had 5 starters. So of those 10 guys, none of the other 9 did as much to lift his team to a championship as he did. There's no debating that. The first 5 didn't have to because they had each other, and I get that. They were balanced. But what this guy did, they don't win that title without him. They don't even come close. The plays he made at the end of games.
Yeah, they don't beat UConn.
They don't beat UConn.
They would have been out in the set. They would have been a 1 seed who beat a 16 seed in sloppy fashion and then lost to an 8 seed.
Correct.
And the conversation the whole off season would have been, is Todd Golden the right guy to get Florida deep into a tournament, or because he would now be 1-2.
Yeah.
So Walter Clayton Jr. completely changes the conversation.
Yeah, and that's right. And by the way, they don't get that 1 seed without him anyway, so they're not playing the 8 seed. So you're exactly right. So anyway, nobody debates now. He had as much as far as one player having an impact over a team winning the championship. It's compared a lot to Kemba Walker, which is probably a good comparison, but there haven't been very many times when one player carried a team to a title as much as he did, right? So we talk about best player in Florida history, and I say not as a prospect, not as a draft pick. I mean, Neil Walk was the 2nd pick in the draft. Bradley Beal was the 3rd pick in the draft. They've had some high draft picks. Donnell Harvey was a top 10 pick. They've had a lot of first-round picks. But in terms of best college player, I think he's it, which now has me flip the page. As a pro player, where will he rank of all the guys that went to that school? All right. Beal's averaging 21.7 as an NBA player. That's far and away more than anybody that ever played at Florida. Vernon Maxwell, he finished his career averaging 12.8. Mike Miller, 10.6. Trey Mann is at 9 point, even though it was 14 this year. I haven't looked up Al Horford, but I'm guessing he's 10 points.
It's more than that, I bet, but probably 14, 15.
Yeah,
would be my guess.
Yeah, somewhere so, but
I can check.
It's nowhere more than that. I would have guessed 10 or 12, but whatever it is, it's not where Beal is, right? So other than Bradley Beal, who and David Lee, I just looked up, he averaged 13 a game in his career. So Bradley Beal is the megastar.
Horford averages 13 in his career.
Okay, so you get, there's a bunch of guys in there. There's a whole bunch of guys. David Lee, 13. Horford, 13. Vernon Maxwell, 13. There's a bunch of guys in there. But doesn't he have a chance?
What about Dan Warner?
Well, I'm not going to bring up the untouchables.
I mean, it's Jordan Warner magic.
Right. But as I look at guys that have played there, might he go be not only the best college player they've ever had, but the most impactful pro? Possibility exists, right?
I think absolutely it exists, particularly if the only good thing about being a mid to late first round pick as opposed to being a lottery pick is you might actually go to a great situation. And so that's what you have to hope for Walter Clayton Jr. is that he goes to a winner where he's now, being asked to fill a role early on, and then excels in that role and then maybe, graduates to a bigger role. But the biggest thing is going to a team that can win because, I mean, other than Horford, there really haven't been. You mentioned Beal, but I'd say he's had a fairly forgettable career when it comes to playing on great teams. Unless there's something
they've never been
I'm missing,
right?
But it doesn't feel like that. Horford obviously won a title as the vet in Boston. So. Yeah, I mean, in terms of his NBA legacy, the biggest thing for Walter Clayton Jr. would be to get drafted by a team that actually is already established as a contender, and now he's got a chance to be playing in some elite games right out of the gate where where he can make an impact. So that's number one, and he's got I would think a pretty good chance to land in a good spot. I know these picks get traded a lot, but. I would assume if you go somewhere between 16 and 30, the probability exists that you're probably going to be on a pretty good squad. So, so that would help. But yeah, I mean, I think he's ideally suited. I think he's going to accept his role. I think he's going to embrace whatever role he gets in the NBA, and. I think he's the kind of player that will continue to grow and get better and develop his weak spots in his game. So, yeah, I think Walter Clayton Jr., absolutely. I mean, to your point, it's not that high of a bar anyway.
Correct.
But I'm not betting against him. I mean, I think he's about as, poised and clutch and explosive as it can be.
And Florida's the one school in the state of Florida that has never produced the NBA superstar. The best player to ever come out of a Florida college, I got to believe, is Rick Barry, right? He averaged 24 points a game. I mean, Rick Barry's the greatest of I would say that. Artis Gilmore, 18-8 and 12-3.
Well, Gilmore would be above Barry, wouldn't you think?
I don't know.
No?
I think I'd have Rick Barry.
Really?
I think Rick Barry. I think I'd have Rick Barry averaged 24 points a game, won a world championship. I think Rick Barry is the greatest college player to ever come out of Florida. But Gilmore, Dave Cowens was 17-6 and 13-6 and won championships in Boston. So, but those are the three. No matter how you rank them, I would say Gilmore, Barry, Dave Cowens were the three. Am I missing anybody? I can't be, right? I mean, the state of Florida hasn't exactly churned out NBA superstars.
Yeah, I mean, we've had them born here, but they've gone to college elsewhere. Like Vince Carter's from Florida,
right, that's
but
right.
He played at North Carolina.
I'm talking about that's great point. There's a lot of those.
Right.
But Leonard Truck Robinson's from Jacksonville.
Right.
But I mean, guys that played at one of the Florida colleges. There's other than those three, I
thought Jonathan Isaac would be a star when he left Florida State.
I did too.
And that
injuries.
That has.
But I did too. There have been a lot of those guys that looked like I thought either Jason Williams or Mike Miller would be megastars. And they were good players.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of guys that played collegiately at one of our big schools in the state of Florida that went on. And again, I got Rick Barry out of Miami, Artis Gilmore out of JU, Dave Cowens out of Florida State. I can't find another guy in I'm probably missing somebody. Someone's going to say, but I can't find another great NBA player that came from.
I don't know if UCF or South Florida has ever produced anyone that would be worthy of mention there in that group. Nothing springs to mind.
Not as far as That's the whole thing. As far as knowing, I mean, stars. I can't. I mean, Georgia had Dominique, but that's about it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, who would you say for Florida? It's Horford, 5-time All-Star.
Was he a 5-time All-Star?
Yeah.
Then I guess it would be. If he's a 5-time All-Star, it probably would be. I mean, Bradley Beal is going to go down. He's averaging 22 a game for his career. Bradley Beal, barring injury, he's had to have been on some All-Star teams, hadn't he? And he's a young guy.
But Hal Horford is in the NBA is considered a much better player than Bradley Beal over his
Beal
career.
is a 3-time All-Star.
People look down on Bradley Beal.
Yeah, but he's also getting ready to turn 32 later this month, Beal. So I still view him as like a young player, but he's definitely on the back end of his career.
He's a scorer, but that's all he is. He's never been a winning player, and Al Horford's the complete opposite. You know, he does everything for the team.
Right. And
has been on some great teams.
Yeah, the one, again.
How is Bradley Beal about to be 32?
I can't believe that. But and that's a great point. But when I think about it, when I think about Horford, I don't know. Horford's a wonderful player. 5-time All-Star is a wonderful player. 13 points, 8 rebounds for his career. But I do sense that Bradley Beal was hurt by the fact that he's never been on a team that's any good. I mean, if he could have somehow landed,
but that's partly his fault.
Well, that's the question.
He doesn't win. He doesn't play winning basketball, and he never has. He was on a team with John Wall in Washington, like in their prime of their career. He just. Yeah. He never cared.
Fair. Well,
he never played defense.
And I don't watch close enough to know that, but certainly the results would say he's never found a way to the winner's circle.
I mean, look at him now, and we thought, well, you got Booker, and you got him, and you got KD, and they didn't even make the freaking playoffs. They didn't even make the play-in game.
By the way, that was shocking.
Yeah.
That Phoenix was that bad with all those good players. So anyways, I look at the players that came out of here. We named the 3 great ones, Cowens, Gilmore, Rick Barry. There haven't been a lot. And you made a good point. There have been high schoolers that went to play elsewhere, but there haven't been a lot. So Walter Clayton Jr., I'm not saying he's going to trump all those guys. He's not going to be better than those 3 guys. But I think he's going to be a good pro. I think he's going to make a bunch of threes. Everyone said the comp is Steph Curry. That's a pretty tough comp, by the way. So, but
and even Walter Clayton Jr. kind of
he
brushes that off.
Right.
Yeah.
But from a playing style standpoint.
Right.
Yeah, playing style.
Oh, there's definitely similarities.
He's the same
if
height
you look
and he gets his shots off.
Curry when he was at Davidson.
Yeah.
I could see why you would see the similarities, but obviously Curry, what he did in the NBA.
And nobody expected Curry to do what he did, even like after a few years in the NBA.
Oh, it was
right. That's right.
It was unbelievable what he became.
So I will take a break. Let's talk some NFL football after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Feel the downforce of 100 horses.
You see him shaking as he goes down Long Pond straightaway.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway, NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010 XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas. Build a protective barrier around your yard and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those pests ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
To get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Dash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daly's Dash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
What NFL stadium has been used the longest by an NFL team?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Green Bay's Lambeau Field has been used by the Packers since 1957, a span of over 60 years.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Yo, ET here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD. I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by First Coast YMCA. The Cup is in the building tonight for Game 6 as the Panthers have their first chance to end the series, as they're up 3-2 after yet another dominant showing in Game 5, beating the Oilers up in Edmonton. Matthew Tkachuk spoke to the media after practice to go over the keys of the game for the Panthers if they want to go back-to-back here in Game 6.
It's going to be the toughest test, biggest game. We're just excited to be back home, and we're excited to hopefully keep that going after last game. We think we've played pretty good hockey over this whole series and the whole playoffs, but especially the last few. So we know the type of game we have to play. Our start's important, and just building our game, hard gaps, heavy forecheck, on it and above it, all the stuff we talk about all year. It's going to be the simple the better for us in these games.
Puck drop down in South Florida will be tonight at 8 o'clock. It's 89 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We do thank our friends in the Nimnick family of dealers. If you want a car you can trust, or folks you can trust to sell you that car, you want my friends at Nimnick. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cass at Nimnick, Buick, GMC at Phillips Highway. Been doing it since 1941, and I've been buying my cars there since 1982, and that's the truth. If you want someone you can trust, you know the name. Nobody but Nimnick. Good to get to football in a minute, but you see this John Rothstein note?
How about that?
Tell people, what did I just read?
Florida and Miami are finalizing an agreement to play a neutral site game this season in Jacksonville. This is, of course, college basketball, according to multiple sources. So Gators Canes here in Jacksonville in mid-November to start the college basketball season.
That's pretty good. I mean, honestly, they started with USF last year, and which had been a good USF team. Now, USF tragically lost its coach not long before that game, but it started. But with that UNF, I think is the opener, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So
maybe, I don't know, because you're right.
Maybe it's just the home opener.
The game in Jacksonville against South Florida was the season opener.
Right.
And then Florida opened, their home opener was against JU.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Yeah, it seems like they haven't worked out the date yet, but that's exciting.
Miami going to be good. Obviously, they
got a new coach.
Yeah.
Jai Lucas, I think his name is. He was an assistant at Duke.
Yeah, he actually pronounces it Jay. And he was actually at Florida for a year. He actually played it and then transferred to Texas, right? He was a freshman player at Florida.
Yeah. I believe so. I saw something like that. Yeah. But they've gotten a bunch of transfer portal guys. So it's going to be a completely different team from the terrible season that they had last year. But before that, remember, they went to the Final Four. They went to the Elite Eight, I think, before that. So they've been good recently.
I'll give the folks here at the city credit that you bring Florida here to play that game against Miami early in the season. That's pretty good stuff. That's
without a doubt.
That's really good stuff. So
yeah, I would think that would be a win for both parties if the Gators athletic department and the city of Jacksonville can just start making that an annual thing where, sometime in November, the basketball team's going to come and play a game here.
No question. So, all right. Hey, our friend
November 17th or 16th, it already says.
Oh, okay. That's the day they're
November 16th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Our friend Pete Prisco has his top NFL players for 2020. Did you see the list?
I did see the list.
There's a list out there. Did you agree with a lot of it? Some of it? None of it? Any of it?
There wasn't anything that I thought was overly a surprise. It's always hard too, because honestly, if you just did it, the quarterbacks would dominate the list.
Right.
He's got Myles Garrett second. Myles Garrett's obviously an incredible player, but if it was an open draft, Myles Garrett wouldn't go second.
Right.
It would be Josh Allen or whoever. But yeah, I would have Mahomes first. We talked about that a day or so ago. That came up, and to me, he's still the best player in the NFL. If the stats may have dipped, and obviously the Super Bowl was a fiasco for Kansas City, but I don't blame Mahomes for that. He's still, if I could have one player in the NFL to start a team with, I'd want Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, I didn't really have an issue with that, and I thought it was interesting how high he had Brian Thomas Jr.
He had him to the highest Jaguar was Brian Thomas Jr. at 44. The only other Jaguar on the list was Josh Hines-Allen at 76. But and I thought those were both fair. I thought those were fair. I think some other Jaguars could get on that list, but I think for today, That's fair. So 44 and 76 for BTJ and Josh Hines Allen. Mahomes, Garrett, Saquon Barkley third, Josh Allen 4. Pete loves Josh Allen.
How could you not now?
Yeah.
I mean,
that might be a little high for me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I've got him ahead of Lamar Jackson. Maybe I would.
Oh, I would take Josh Allen all day long over Lamar Jackson.
Justin Jefferson 5, Lamar 6, Burrow 7, Jamar Chase 8, Patrick Surtain 9. Well, he's come on, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Micah Parsons 10. Interesting list, and then it gets interesting down. Derek Harvey 14 on the list. It's an I mean,
Henry.
I'm convinced his name's Derek Harvey. Okay.
If Derek Harvey made the list, that would be.
Yeah. I look.
Pete,
I'm gonna go ahead and say now. I've done it enough times now that I think that's his name. Okay, just so y'all know that. Yeah, I think you guys are all wrong.
Right.
And I think I got this one right.
Just call him the Yulee Bulldozer.
Yeah. I have called Derek. I've called Derek Henry Derek Harvey so many times he could sue me, and he would probably win. So Derek Henry, not Derek Harvey. Aiden Hutchinson 15 on this list. Interesting. He's a good pass rusher.
Yeah. For being, missing so much of last year with the injury, that might be high.
Fred Warner, 19. I think he's the best linebacker, inside linebacker in football. Brock Bowers at 22 on this list. That's high on the list. So, but Pete does a great job of it. We'll ask him about it when he's on the show.
And again, you always forget the depth in the league. Like, scroll down and look at 90 through 100.
I did that.
It's
well, I'll give you. Jalen Ramsey's 99.
Yeah.
Derwin James is 95. Travis Kelce's 96. That's your point.
Yeah.
Those are the three that jumped off. I wrote those down. They jumped off the page at me. So no, I totally.
It's a tough list to make. I think
Devontae Adams is 91.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is 91. Right. I think Trayvon Walker is a good candidate.
Right. And we'll be on the list at some point.
Yeah, for this list. But yeah, it's hard to argue that the Jaguars, 2 is probably fair.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter will be on it next year.
Yes.
I would imagine.
First or second, I would think.
I mean, honestly, if he has, where do you put him? If he were to have 1,000 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns.
Well, that's the question.
And then make 4 or 5 spectacular defensive plays, whether that's an interception or not, who knows?
Right.
But he makes 5 plays defensively over the course of the season that led to a victory or certainly greatly contributed to them having a chance to win. He'd have to be in the top 10.
Well, that's the whole point is there is so much there's no way to even predict that because we can't even predict where he's how much he's playing which side yet, So it'll be interesting to see. I did see the story that did not surprise me, but it surprised others. But I believe this. This did not shock me. I saw a story today that one of the best rookies in anybody's OTA so far has been Jackson Dart. Did you see the story? He's been very good. Now he's running ahead of Jameis Winston and whoever the fourth guy is.
They should trade Winston.
Yeah, Winston. Who's the fourth guy? There's a fourth guy.
It's Russ, Dart, Jameis, and is it DeVito still?
It is Tommy DeVito. So Tommy DeVito's the fourth guy. So
you got to keep him around for the laughs and the memes.
But
for the Week 18 start when they're trying to protect the pick.
But in Russell Wilson, who's clearly declining, if not declined.
Yeah.
Is the starter and Jackson Dart right there. I said this last year. You and I had this conversation. Pete and I disagreed on this. He didn't love him. I think Jackson Dart's going to be a really good pro. I said it about Garrett Nussmeier, and I believe it. I think Jackson Dart is going to be a really, really good pro. So I'm not the least bit surprised that he's been pretty good at Giants OTAs.
I think it's what you'd like to see. I mean, really, you would like if he is that player that they believe that he is and you believe he is, then it shouldn't take long for him to push Russell Wilson with where Wilson is at this stage of his career. And again, Russell Wilson doesn't know any of these guys either. It's his first year on the with the Giants. So, there's no familiarity advantage there for the veteran. So that makes it easier for the first round rookie to get in there and because the chemistry is all the same. I mean, Russell's been on the team a little longer, but not enough to where he'd have seasons of camaraderie with these guys. I mean, he was obviously signed a month and a half before Dart was drafted, so he had a little bit of a head start. But not if Dart is the player that the Giants think he is. That should not be. It should not take him long to overtake Russell Wilson.
Well, here's the thing too, and I'm not comparing Dart to the great players in the league, but the reality of this is in that sport, Hayes, not just recently. But in that sport, I mean, here's the reality. Other than when Len Dawson led the Kansas City Chiefs to a world championship in 1970, throwing to Otis Taylor, other than that, it was a middling franchise. Good, not great, not terrible, a middling franchise. And then they get this guy, Patrick Mahomes, and they're the best team in football for a decade. The New England Patriots really never won anything of note.
They were a laughing stock.
They had evolved into a laughing stock, but they had never won anything of note. They were by far the least relevant of the four franchises in the Boston area. By a the Red Sox, Celtics, and Bruins are in that market. They were by a wide margin the fourth most relevant franchise in that city, and then they got this guy Tom Brady. The Pittsburgh Steelers were a laughing stock all through the 40s, 50s, 60s, and then they drafted this guy Terry Bradshaw and won 4 Super Bowls. So, I mean, my point is it's not new. When you do that, so that exhausting search for that guy, and I'm not saying, well, Jackson Dart's going to be Bradshaw, Brady, and Mahomes. That's not my point. My point is, if you found that guy, to your point, get him in there and play him. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think the Giants would be well served to do that. Have you seen the New York Giants schedule, by the way? I mean, we obviously
no, I'm not.
Okay, let me give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Because it is the most brutal schedule that I think I can remember a team having in this league. It is incredible.
Well, it's a good division, obviously.
It's a good division. So this is what the New York Giants, this is why Jackson Dart's going to be, if he's not the week 1 starter, it's not going to take long. So the Giants open the season at Washington, then go to Dallas.
Okay.
So they don't even get a home game until week 3. And here comes Patrick Mahomes.
He's good.
Yeah.
Are they good?
So you get Kansas City at home in week 3 after starting on the road 2 division games against pretty good to really good teams.
Talented team.
Well, it probably gets easier week 4, right?
I'm sure it gets easier in week 4, right? Because, here come the Chargers.
Yeah.
And Justin Herbert with that 28 touchdown passes to 3 interceptions and the physical nature of the Harbaugh Chargers. You then get a reprieve. You go to Bourbon Street. You get New Orleans. You better win that game.
Even that's on the road.
It's on the road. Yeah. But you come home. Here come the world champions.
Wow.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
He played it. Wow.
Okay, so that's tough.
Thursday night game too.
Yeah. Now let's
Short
go.
week.
Now let's go on the road to play the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
Then we stay on the road to once again face the Philadelphia Eagles.
What, do they have like 3 home games?
Yeah.
Is it 3 home, 14 away?
So now back at home.
Are they rebuilding their stadium? What are they doing?
So now the Giants return home. And here come the 49ers.
Wow. That is a hard schedule.
They then go to Chicago, home against Green Bay, at Detroit.
Wow.
At New England. They get a week 14 bye if they are able to make it to the week 14 bye. So they get a rest.
What you've just read so far, the Saints and the Patriots may be the only 2 games that pick them to win.
Yeah. Then you come off the bye. You get Washington at home, Minnesota at home, go to Vegas, and close at home against Dallas.
That's about 3 wins, 4 wins.
That's Saints-Giants game?
I mean, Eli can come back and quarterback.
Yeah, they could have Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
And they're going to be lucky to get a wild card berth.
Wow. How about
I mean, it is brutal.
Yeah, that week 5 game at New Orleans might be for the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, it absolutely could be.
Well, you're right then. Why would you, when you start 2-8, or 2-6, why would you keep playing the veteran quarterback? To your point.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right. But I like Jackson Dart. I think he's going to turn out to be a good player. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Catch the draft and accelerate to the checkered flag.
Who's going to win at Pocono?
this Sunday at Pocono Raceway. Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beard's now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beard's can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beard's Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
Where does Northeast Florida buy cars? Arlington Toyota. Mia here, and why Arlington? Selection. Arlington has over 800 new and used vehicles all in one location with everyday low prices. Plus right now, save big with 0 down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2023 Toyota Corolla. Or how about no payments till January 2026 and 60-day exchange. Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
June is Men's Health Month. Be proactive towards your prostate, ED, low T, even kidney stones with Ackerman Urology. Offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, the Beaches, and World Golf Village. Trust the men's health experts at AckermanUrology.com.
And welcome back to another episode of Potty Talk with our current champion. So what's your secret to your perfect plumbing proficiency?
It's simple, really. Roland Reach Plumbing is always the right answer.
Roland Reach Plumbing, 260-7059.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
Power bill just went up again? Why keep paying more? Clay Solar can wipe that electric bill out. Right now, they'll cover your first 6 months' payments. Visit claysolar.com today to schedule your free consultation. claysolar.com.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
The team at Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to book your next round of golf with us. At Hidden Hills, we love the game, and we'll provide you with a memorable golf experience at one of the most unique golf courses in North Florida. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start it with the Jaguars because while it is a quiet time now with mandatory minicamp behind us and training camp still over a month away, the Jaguars general manager, James Gladstone, was a guest on Sirius XM NFL radio and had some really interesting comments regarding Travis Hunter. We're going to start with the first one. This is Gladstone talking about Travis Hunter just in general coming out of the offseason program.
Our understanding that Travis is most naturally comfortable, most naturally in tune on the defensive side of the ball. We wanted to load him offensively throughout this window to ensure that by the time we got to training camp, we had a runway built up on that side because there's so much more nuance, so much more adjustments in real time on the offensive side of the ball that would require a lot more learning. So with this phase of the process sort of being rooted through that lens, that's why we wanted to put the emphasis on O, knowing that we would then trickle in the defensive participation a little bit more towards the back end of the offseason program and really as we get into training camp. I do think there's a little bit of a misconception in that it's wide receiver first, corner second, as much as it is the learning methodology of wide receiver through this phase and then continuing to trickle in more defense since that is his primary background.
I'm glad he said that because I might have been as guilty as anybody under that or guilty of that misconception as much as anybody. I did assume there would be more offense than defense. That was my assumption. But the one thing I think we all know is that we don't know, right? I'm not even sure they know. And I think they would tell you. I think Liam Cohen would tell you that. I think James or Tony Baselli would tell you that. I don't even think they're sure they know, Hayes. I think they want to see, I'll say it again, you have to figure out what the load is. Even a guy that has the incredible endurance he has, what's the load in a National Football League game? I've thought all along it would be offense more than defense, but now I'm not sure, and I'm not sure they're sure. It'll be fun to watch.
It really will be. The host followed up with Gladstone and asked, well, just how many snaps can Travis Hunter play in a game?
Time will truly tell, and I think the thing that you can, in fact, lean into at this stage is he does not tire. He has got a spark. He has got the energy, the capacity from a physical standpoint. Just to be able to do it is certainly there. It'll be in terms of one game to the next. Where does it fit? Where does it make the most sense? Certain game plans might dictate usage differently. So time will truly tell, and I don't know that one game to the next is going to be the exact same, but putting a number on it at this stage is, I think, probably premature. But look forward to seeing how it really plays itself out here and him earning his spot on both sides. Certainly going to be an opportunity for him. Got to take advantage of it here down the stretch.
Yeah, two things. Number one, the second thing he said is what we've been saying. You just don't know. They don't know. We'll see how it plays out. It'll change game to game, which makes some sense, and we'll see about the load, which makes the most sense. I'll go back to the first thing he said. He doesn't tire. That's the consensus. The one thing that everybody you talk to, either publicly or even privately down there, says, that dude's never tired. He could run a marathon. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it was hot, and those guys hadn't played football in 6 months, man. We saw them out there. They were 6 months or 5 months at least removed from the last time they played in a competitive football game. You can't possibly be in football shape if you're not playing football. I don't care how good a shape you are. There's a reason training camp exists and the preseason exists, is because you need football to get you in football shape. And that dude's never tired, man. That's one thing that everybody agrees on.
It's going to be fascinating to watch this training camp and see Travis Hunter's growth and development on both sides of the ball. Can't wait. And we're just 5 or so weeks away from that. Let's get to the NBA Finals, led by Jalen Williams' 40 points.
How many?
40. The Thunder outclassed the Pacers 120-109 in Game 5 to take a 3-2 lead. Is it over?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, the Pacers have been remarkably resilient, remarkably hard to knock out. They've hung on the ropes. They've clinched. They've gotten to the bell, but they haven't been knocked out or even knocked down very much. But I think the Tyrese Halliburton injury, which looks like it's real, might be the last straw. You're playing the best team in the NBA, and you've hung on like warriors, man. But I think it's going to be hard now.
Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton diagnosed with a strained right calf, the team reported today. He is awaiting results of a MRI. Gutted it out, finished with 4 points, and was able to get a decent amount of assists, and try and help. but just didn't look like the same kind of guy. And I agree with you. If Halliburton is anything less than 100%, which clearly he will be even if he's available, it's hard to see Indiana being able to win 2 games in a row against the Thunder.
Yeah, very, very hard. But hey, it's been a great run, and it's been a great series so far for sure.
In terms of Loser Monday, we did have some movement. I'm now at 282. Frank, you're at 280. JJ, 184.
Is being
points.
down 100 points bad?
Yeah,
this
well, listen.
It's an interesting strategy.
and give yourself the benefit of the doubt. It's only 96.
Okay.
I said earlier, if Hayes and my
Well,
six
if that's the case, then I can turn it around.
If Hayes and my 6 players don't play, and all 3 of JJ's guys go for 30, he still loses.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that it's over it was over before last night.
It's over
and
now.
I got to really enjoy the game and not worry about like, oh my God, Jalen, I need him to miss this, and so I could actually enjoy him just pouring it in last night.
I was out the way with the Open. My guy's out. I can enjoy JJ Spawn or whoever because I'm hitting my Estemonos, So
It's a lot more. It's easier to take when you miss the cut than if you lose by 1 on Sunday.
That's right.
Without a doubt. Yeah. It was a tough night last night in terms of Halliburton only got 4 for JJ. And so anyway, but that's how it goes. And we'll see. That would be, so you've got 6 losses because you lost the Masters,
I have.
the Kentucky Derby,
the Little League
Super
World
Bowl.
Series. The killer was the French Open. That was the one that took. That was the one that took me. It was hard to climb back after that one for sure.
But
the Seinfeld finale. I mean, I've lost so many now.
We all lost.
It's
on
just
that
been
one.
hard to climb back in.
Very good point.
Right.
We all lost the Seinfeld finale, no doubt about it. Let's get to the NBA draft. ESPN released their latest 2-round mock draft, and their experts have Walter Clayton Jr. going 29th overall to Phoenix. Elijah Martin goes 57th overall in the second round to the Magic.
Yeah, and Elijah Martin is a really good athlete. I've said this, maybe it sounded crazy, but would it totally shock, and if he's going to go second round, and maybe, would it totally shock you if he's one of those rare guys that pops up professionally in a different sport? Because some guys have done it. Now, it's usually big guys. It's usually big physical basketball players that become tight ends. I know that. But he looks like, to me, a guy that I'd love to see get a crack at strong safety. Doesn't he come off as that guy? So we'll see. I may have lost my mind, but I don't think he can play in the NBA. And he looks like a football player to me.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. I think he can.
He play in the league?
Well, this is why I think he has a chance, because he's not going to look to shoot at all.
Right.
So I think Elijah Martin is smart enough to say, with my toughness, tenacity, I can be one of these defensive stalwarts that has a lengthy career in this league.
Blue door.
Yeah, he'll average 4 points a game at best. But he could be somebody that you can put Martin on, a big-time offensive threat, and he might be able to neutralize him. I think he's an impressive defender.
Well, to your point, look, it's the league of shooters. We've been saying that. That's why we had a segment about Walter Clayton Jr. earlier. But it's also a league of athletes. It's among the best athletes in the world, and he's an elite athlete now. There's no debating that, so maybe he will.
Let's get to college basketball. We touched on this in the last segment. This news just coming out. Florida and Miami are working on a game to be played in Jacksonville in mid-November. JJ, you saw it's November 16th.
It's a Sunday, I believe.
Oh, wow. Sunday, November 16th. That's interesting. I wonder where the
home team's playing?
Yeah. I wonder where the Jags are that day.
I will take a little peek.
How about that? But that'll be a fun rivalry renewed.
Yeah.
Florida and Miami don't play all that often, it feels like, in men's basketball.
They're playing at home against the Chargers.
The Jags are at home against the Chargers. If it wound up being on a Sunday, that would surprise me a little bit if they played in Jacksonville on a Jaguar home date, but we'll see. But regardless of when the date is, if it indeed happens, good for Jacksonville. You're getting the national champions with hordes of fans in this market to come in here and play a name opponent. With all due respect to USF last year, that's not like bringing the Canes in here. So that's that would be a really neat way for Jacksonville people to celebrate that title.
Yeah, without a doubt. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's get it to golf. The PGA Tour announces Brian Rolap as its new CEO. Commissioner Jay Monahan will stay on until his contract expires next year. But the change at the PGA Tour that we'd heard about is now official.
Yeah, and you made a good point. I made this point earlier that position doesn't change very much, and your point was good. It doesn't change very much in any sport, does it? They've been around forever. But, I mean, realistically, Dean Beeman, Tim Fincham, Jay Monahan, that threesome, that goes way back now. Way, way back. And so only the fourth name in many, many decades to run the tour.
Yeah, and we'll look forward to meeting Brian and certainly wish him best of luck. Know he'll do a fantastic job, and the PGA Tour is had such an incredible year. It's really hard to believe.
Been a great year of golf.
The momentum the PGA Tour has, considering the crisis that they were under just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is spectacular to see.
And I will say this, but I'm glad you brought that up. And you more aggressively say this than I do, but I say the same thing. You were right. They really have put the LIV stuff out of its misery. People worried because the LIV had so many name guys, but they were a lot of times old. Cam Smith wasn't, but a lot of those guys were older name guys. They have, if you're not yet convinced that LIV is totally irrelevant, well, then you're biased. Because and I give the tour credit for doing that. It's great momentum that they've had in the world of real pro golf.
Speaking of the PGA Tour, a great event this week, the Travelers Championship. It's the final signature event of the season. Has a big-time field. Scheffler, Rory, Xander, JT, Morikawa, Hovland, JJ Spawn. Among those competing, Scheffler and Spawn are actually paired together. This is one of those limited 70-esque man fields, no cut, but huge prize money. So Elite Golf will be there this weekend if you want to watch.
You know what I love about this? Too many times, the way golf plays out, you'll have an incredible event, a major, the players, something big, and you love it, and you're caught up in it, and you can't quit thinking about it. And in our Monday shows, we talk about it. But then you got to wait a while for another event of significance,
yeah,
right?
They've solved that.
They have solved that. I mean, here we go with a really, really important event with big-name players 1 week later.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani hit 100 miles an hour last night in his first pitching outing since 2023. Just worked one inning, gave up a run, 28 pitches, but had to be encouraging for the Dodgers and for the sport.
Yeah, and I told you this yesterday. I just hope he didn't get hurt, and I hope he doesn't get hurt. What a player. Throws 100, exit velocity's 100, steals bases, hits bombs. What a player. What an amazing player.
What was he last year? 50-50? Was he 50-50 or 40-40?
He got a lot of steals.
He was definitely 40-40.
Yeah.
I don't know that he was 50-50. Might have been.
Yeah.
Definitely 40-40.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is incredible.
I remember when I was growing up how hard it was to be a 30-30 guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
It's to be fair, the stolen base records are all BS now.
Yeah,
because you can only throw over a couple times.
I agree.
But still.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, it seems like every season he'll just decide to do something. He had 59 steals last year.
Wow.
It
59.
was 59. Wow.
That's amazing.
54 homers.
He was
50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I thought.
Wow.
College baseball, College World Series, LSU in great position. They beat UCLA 9-5 to move to 2-0 in Omaha. So it's looking like we'll have LSU versus Coastal Carolina for the national title. Still, some games to work out, but those are the two programs that have made the biggest success towards playing for it all.
They're in the catbird seat in their brackets. There's two brackets. They're the two undefeated teams. LSU, by the way, I think they've got 5 titles. It's 5 or 6 titles.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be the nation's perennial college baseball program. I mean, they might be the Alabama football and the Duke basketball of baseball.
They have 6.
They have 6. Wow.
7.
They have 7. This would be 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
91, 93, 96, 97, 2000, 2009, and 2020.
It's since the 90s. I mean, that's not since like 1908.
Wow, yeah.
In the last 35 years.
Pretty amazing.
Talk about the ultimate David versus Goliath. I know Coastal Carolina has won a national title in this past decade. But boy, LSU, Coastal Carolina, if that's the best of 3.
Yeah, now
they've won 25 in a row.
Yeah, now that's Duke Gonzaga, It's not Duke, Wichita State.
Yeah.
But still, your point's good.
Let's get it to the NHL. The Stanley Cup will be on the premises tonight as the defending champion Florida Panthers can take out Edmonton. The Panthers are up 3-2. We will see if they can earn the repeat tonight at home.
Yeah, honest admission. Can I be honest?
Sure.
Prisco gets so excited about it. My really good friend Jessica Blaylock is living it. I know your wife's a big fan and her son's a big fan, so you've gotten to live it. People are talking about how good it is. I've tried to get there, can't get there. I'm going to try. I'm going to peek. Because I almost feel obligated because of the job to take a peek tonight. Can't get there. But I hope they win. I hope they win.
Yeah.
I hope they win because I know a lot of people rooting for them.
Yeah, I totally get it. Let's get it to pop culture. 31 years ago today, the white Ford Bronco, driven by Al Cowlings, was headed down the LA freeway. The O.J. Simpson car chase was 31 years ago, pretty much right now as we speak.
I remember exactly where I was. It was actually exactly where I know exactly where I was. We were at dinner with friends. Then we went to a bar afterwards and sat in the bar while the NBA playoffs were going on and watched that damn Bronco. Do you remember?
I remember exactly where I was. I had just gotten to Florida. I was a summer B enrollee and had been on campus for maybe 3 or 4 days and was watching it with a group of friends in a dorm room. And it took 2 hours roughly, the whole chase, and it was broadcast. Millions watched on TV. And we were riveted for 2 hours of, is this really happening?
And then even after the chase, they're just sitting in the driveway. And it was like everyone just kept watching that too. I remember we were on vacation in West Palm Beach and my dad made us all stay in the hotel room to watch. As a 5-year-old, I had no idea what we were watching, but I'll never forget it.
I was doing radio at 9:30, okay? And the 600 group, they were going to have the Jaguars, and they had offered me a job. And Linda Bird, our general manager at the time, assigned Jack O'Brien, who we know is a sailor now, who was the sales manager at 9:30, he and his wife, to take Suzanne and I out to dinner and woo us and talk me into not leaving. True story. And we went there, and then we went to a Chizu, which was a restaurant, a Japanese restaurant at the beach, and we went back to Sundog Diner, which was at Atlantic Beach at the time, and we sat in there, the four of us. Jack telling him, you don't want to leave there. You don't want to go. You know what you got here. I'm having that conversation, watching the Broncos. That's how much I remember it.
That's amazing.
Oh, did he woo you or what?
I never left.
Okay.
He did great.
31 years ago today. It's crazy. We've got another anniversary in the world of pop culture. This flashback marks the 20th anniversary of Batman Begins being released in theaters. 8 years the franchise was in hibernation after disastrous Batman and Robin. That's the one with George Clooney as Batman and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Freeze. It's a debacle. So you never really knew if you'd see Batman again, or it might be like 25 years. Christopher Nolan steps up. They produce this unbelievable trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, obviously Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises. But Batman Begins, a special film, a film I love, with a $150 million budget. The film made $372 million.
The Batman franchise was a really interesting franchise when you think of how it started. It started with a cartoon, and then it was Adam West and Burt Ward in a silly TV show that evolved into a rather serious yet dark series. Really did. It's an interesting transformation, isn't it?
It really is. And there's still a lot of momentum with the character. The one that they just put out, the Batman with Robert Pattinson, did well, and people are excited about that sequel. But the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy was a masterpiece. We will get you out on our musical note of the day because we are celebrating Billy Joel today. His album Glass Houses began a 6-week run as the #1 album on the Billboard charts. This week, back in 1980, Joel won a Grammy for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance. This is It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. This was the 3rd single released off the album. And interestingly enough, Billy Joel's first song to reach #1 on the Billboard charts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe. Prayers up for Billy as well as he recovers from an illness. Hopefully he'll tour again. Or if Billy Joel can't play another concert, that would be a shame. That would be a real shame. Well done as always. Back to wrap the program after this.
Tell that it's out of style. Should I get a set of white
the ride home with The Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Game 6 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals will be tonight in Sunrise as the Florida Panthers take on Edmonton. Florida leading the series 3-2, need one more win to win back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. The Panthers took Game 5 at Edmonton on Saturday. Tonight they're favored by a goal and a half plus 165 on the puck line. Edmonton getting the goal and a half minus 200. The Oilers are plus 125 on the money line. The Panthers minus 145 with the over-under goal total at 6.5 with the over at even money and the under minus 120. As a series line, Florida is minus 400 to win the Stanley Cup. Edmonton will need back-to-back victories, are plus 300. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Are you experiencing high energy bills? Now is the time to upgrade your old inefficient windows and doors. Don't miss Renewal by Andersen's 30th anniversary sale. For a limited time, buy one, get 130% off all windows and patio doors. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com now to take advantage of this incredible offer. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service. Restrictions apply. License number CGC1527613.
Experience professional grade at Nimnik Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. That's right, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. Nimnik also has the largest selection of GMC's impressive SUV lineup, like the all-new redesigned GMC Acadia and the highly sought-after Yukon and Yukon XL. Curious about an EV? Well, you can save big with the all-new GMC Hummer EV, SUV, and truck, plus the all-new GMC Sierra EV. Now with cash incentives, now is the time to take an EV test drive. So shop at Nimnik today. That's Nimnik Buick GMC. Who's got the best prices, the best products? Nobody but Nimnik. We are professional grade GMC.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is thrilled to announce you can get all of their flavors and original vodka at PJ Liquors in St. Augustine. PJ Liquors, since 1999, has been serving up summertime fun. Now enjoy Brackish Vodka, the #1 local vodka in North Florida. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka, and you can find their 9 flavors at PJ Liquors. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Mia here for Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet, and you know how much I love it. My family is obsessed. With summer here, why not finally create that custom garage workspace you and your dad want? Think tool storage, workbenches, a place for everything to go. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes all you guys. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. ClosetsByDesign.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Let's start with some cold, hard truth. Here's why Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your road to freedom. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe. You're not shooting chemicals into your body every week. You're eating real food every single day. You're not listening to an overpriced celebrity tell you about magical new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food and losing weight. It's that simple with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized and happy. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110 over the course of a year. It's a life-changing road to freedom. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 Weight Loss will get you there quickly and safely, a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
10XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where we've been in the course of the program today, we've talked an awful lot about that basketball last night, and it was absolutely fantastic. One game away is Orlando. Oklahoma City for winning that thing, so we'll certainly talk more about that as sort of the weeks go on. We talked about Pete Prisco's list of best NFL players. Bobby Cannon, the UNF basketball coach, joined us on the program as well. We even talked about Jackson Dart and other storylines in the NFL. I do want to remind you, by the way, this Friday we'll be live in Mandarin at Big Chief Tire's 6th location. Man, they've done a fantastic job. They've grown that outstanding location. So we're certainly looking forward to that, and we'll be out there. That comes up this week. It comes up on Friday, so we'll certainly look forward to seeing everybody out there. The Gator baseball team keeps getting guys. You know, baseball's so weird that one good thing the portal's done is you never paid attention to who they signed in high school because a lot of times they went and played pro ball. At least now, if you follow college baseball at all, you'll have known the names. Isn't it wild that everybody's got 22 and 23-year-old players coming in now?
It's amazing.
I mean that's the world we're in now.
Yeah,
that seems to be the world we're in.
Yeah, they got a starter from Hawaii.
I saw that. Someone I'd never heard of. So how about that? So but they need everybody. They need pitching. So will you watch the hockey tonight?
Oh yeah.
Will you watch it, JJ?
No, this is. Hey, if NBA's not on, I'll let my lady watch the TV tonight. Yeah. I'll be a good man.
You'll pass it
I'm
off.
just like, it's not my sport, and it hasn't been for a long time, and I know it's great, and I love playoff hockey, but it's just, I'm not going to jump in for one series out of the whole year. It's just not me.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to that. I just still not there. Still can't get there. So
I will say, as somebody that has never been a hockey fan, I have really enjoyed watching them play. Some of the stuff that you will see them do. I mean, it is awesome. And it's cool that it's a physical sport. I also like the fact that they're like athletes aren't at all entitled. It's not a big enough professional sport to where it's warped how they view things like you see in the NFL and NBA and probably Major League Baseball. So there's a salt of the earth to it that I think is kind of charming.
I believe that. And that part I get to. All right. You know what? Can I tell you 3 things?
Boy.
When I think Vegas, you know what I think?
Look at the rhinestones that this guy's got on.
Wayne Newton, Tom Jones. Yeah. Hacker Nation.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
All right, JJ's in the other room, so I know I'm now the only one in this room who hasn't been to the Sphere. How was it?
Gosh, it was amazing.
You saw Kenny Chesney there.
Saw Kenny Chesney there, and so it's we stayed at the Venetian. I was telling Denmark this earlier. So I did not go outside for 2 days, and I walked 12 miles, according to my phone. The place it's a compound. It's just a massive compound between the casino and the lobby and the Grand Canal shop, and then they got the bridge over to the Sphere. The Sphere, Hayes had talked about it, and Blue had told me about it. They had both been, and my expectations were high going in. Everything I thought was surpassed. It was absolutely incredible.
You loved it, huh?
Oh, my gosh. For a guy that loves music like you, whenever one of your acts goes to the Sphere, man, you got to go.
Yeah, well, and the Eagles are there. They're still there. They're going to be back in the fall, so I've thought about it. And at some point I'll get there because I hear it's everybody, there's no dissenting opinions.
No. Howard, the video you showed, the Chesney graphics looked awesome.
Mind-blowing. And there was a whole thing about, like, Kenny Chesney spent, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars on each song's video. They had a different video for every song that they did. It was mind-blowing. I mean, and not this. Did the Eagles have the Eagles experience at the Venetian?
They had like a gift area. We didn't go in it, but they had like a bunch of merchandise for the Eagles.
Kenny Chesney has rented out like 2 floors of the Venetian.
It wasn't that.
And it's called the Kenny Chesney Experience. They got tiki bars in there. There's Sirius XM. Yeah, they No Shoes radios in there. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah,
the amount of stuff that Kenny Chesney had done with the Venetian.
That's awesome. How about that? So, I'm glad you had a good time. Just got back?
Well, yeah, I took the red eye for the first time in my life.
First red eye.
I left Las Vegas at 12:50 Pacific. That would be 3:50 a.m. Eastern.
Did you sleep on a plane?
I think. I think I got an hour, maybe.
I get it.
You know, and then we got back to Jacksonville at 9:30, and here I am.
All right,
fired up.
I love it. What's coming up?
Dante Marcatelli, FanDuel Sports. Talk about the big Orlando Magic trade, getting Desmond Bain. We got Jamal St. Cyr of Channel 4 and a little Gator recruiting. Actually, a lot of Gator recruiting. They got 10 guys over the last 2 weeks. My buddy Andrew Spivey of GatorCountry.com.
Before you go, what do you think of the Magic deal? Do you like it?
I do. I think non-NBA fans see 4 first-round picks and they go, whoa. NBA first-round picks are not the equivalent of NFL first-round picks.
Right.
2 of those picks are in 2028 and 2030. If Orlando is who they think they're going to be, those picks are going to be in the high 20s,
right?
And no one's going to care.
Yeah.
So I really like Desmond Bain with Suggs and Banchero and Wagner. I like what Orlando did.
All right. Hacker Nation goes into the night. He goes in tonight. He goes after dark. I'll get it right. I promise you. Hacker comes up in a bit. That I can tell you. Thanks, Hacker.
Thanks, guys.
That'll do it for our program. We're out here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.